Hello everybody, this is Cosmograd playing for Lag Theory. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Titanfall beta, as just about everybody else on the internet is. So we're going to take a look at it, we're going to dive in, we're going to talk about it a little bit and see what kind of things we can figure out about it. See whether it's all it's cracked up to be. I did get to play this at PAX over the summer, which was a lot of fun, so let's just dive right in and we'll talk a little bit, but mostly it's just going to be me playing because there's a lot of chaos, a lot of noise, and I'm going to be paying more attention to what's going on the screen than I'm going to be doing, talking and trying to tell you guys about it. So I will try to tell you as much as I can as I'm going along, but we'll see how everything goes. So Titanfall is a mostly arena-based FPS with a few different game modes in the beta. Attrition is just your basic deathmatch. You've got hard points, which is kind of like a capture the, um, King of the Hill kind of game mode. And then there's Last Titan Standing, where basically that's just kind of a survival match. You spawn with a Titan, and if you lose it, you don't get another one. And then basically the point is to wipe out the enemy Titans. I'm going to be doing attrition tonight just because that's one of the quicker game modes, and I find it to be the most fun. I'm not really big on other kinds of objective-based games, or game modes, I should say. So this is the funnest way for me to do it. Maybe if we're lucky, if we have a little bit more time, I'll go ahead and do a couple other things. Um, so here we go. We're gonna jump into a map. I've already made a couple of Titan loadouts and a couple of pilot loadouts that you can do because of the ability to do these different things. I've already maxed out my level in the beta and have almost all of the unlocks because I've been playing pretty much nonstop since Sunday morning. Loading times are not too bad considering kind of a lot of the stuff that's going on. That's because the maps are fairly small, which I think is kind of a good way to do things. Let me see if I can make the game window a little bigger. It seems a little small. That's better. Look at that. That should be a little better for us. Okay. Well, we're loading. We'll be able to jump in here and see what exactly we can make happen. One of the things I like about Titanfall is the balance. It's one of those games where even if you're good at it, you're still gonna die a lot. You're still gonna have a lot of competition. So when you first start, you get the options of the three different loadouts that you can use as a regular rifleman, which is just run-of-the-mill guy, the assassin, which has the smart pistol, and then the CQB soldier, which stands for close quarters battle, which has the shotgun. And some other things. Then you can do your custom loadouts. I've got basically kind of a shock trooper, a sniper, and then kind of a change up of the regular stock assassin that you've got. So I'm actually going to start in with my kind of shock trooper, and I like the kind of bone stock Titan to be honest with you, because I like the chain gun. I'm not really big on the big cannon or the big rocket launcher. Those are just slow and not really my kind of style. So I'm going to jump in, and here we are. Looks like it spawned me because I waited too long to check. It spawned me as my variant on the assassin, which actually has the smart pistol, which is kind of an OP weapon against a lot of the creep mobs you'll find. You can pretty much one-shot them without trying too hard, which is kind of a weird concept because it's great against these little trash, not actual players, but when it comes to actual players, it is an incredibly difficult weapon to use. Um, and there's some people who are really good at it, I know, because they kill me all the time. But for me, it's difficult. So there we go. Now I'm spawning with the loadout that I was intending to, which is an SMG that actually has a silencer on it, just because I wanted to see if that's really any good and if it really matters. It doesn't really seem to matter how quiet you are in this game, um, just because you just don't live long enough to be very sneaky. You just kind of get, unless you're in the action, you just kind of need to keep moving, and that's one of the things that's really interesting. Being a pilot on the ground, as you can see, I don't live very long because there's just so much going on. There's other players, there are Titans. My Titan is ready, so I'm going to go ahead and call it down right over here. Right next to apparently that one, who's probably going to smoke me. Okay, run, 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 run. Oh, no, no, no! Alright, loading up in the Titan. I love the animations. They're a little bit more glitchy than I seem to remember at PAX. Like you'll be running at your Titan and then like glitch a short distance in order to be able to make it in. And I seem to remember there being more kind of points for you to do different animations on jumping into your Titan. At least when I was at PAX, which is kind of interesting. And I'm sure they'll probably polish that out a little bit more. But as it is right now, if you tend to stick to weird points and kind of move strangely through things. A couple things. Your Titan has actually pretty much the same kind of weapon types that you get to choose as a pilot. You get basically a tech ability, which in the case of the Titans is the either the vortex shield or a kind of a lock-on or a electric smoke system. What I'm doing right now is called rodeoing a Titan, but I got killed by that electric smoke that I was just talking about. That's kind of a countermeasure to being mounted by a pilot and having them destroy your Titan really quickly. One of the best things you really want to do as a pilot, as I said before, is to just keep moving. That is one of the best things that you can do. The wall running is a pretty interesting mechanic, and it's a little bit difficult to get used to because it's a weird concept and it's done in a much different way than most other games would do something like this. And because of that, it's a little bit weird, and so it's a sticky, kind of slow moving. But as you jump off of different surfaces, you actually get a speed boost. So you can see actually with certain places, you can actually get moving quite quickly and move around the map in a really kind of interesting way. As you can see, I made it a fair distance. I really didn't get anywhere because I'm terrible at navigating, but as far as most things go, you can get around a map extremely fast if you really remember the pathways well and can jump around. But really, on the ground is a dangerous place to be. So basically, as long as you can keep some momentum, keep running, keep flying up in the air, you have a lot higher chance to stay alive. And one of the things I was talking about before is the balance of this game. I find it to be really refreshing to find an FPS that isn't just um, people like campers and snipers that basically dominate the map, and everybody else just kind of has to deal with it. Sniping in this game is actually very difficult, I find, because you can't sit still. I mean, it's a really difficult thing to do. And there's a lot of consequences for spending any amount of time in one place. I mean, you're pretty easy to pick out. Even with the cloak mechanics, it's a pretty difficult thing to sit in one spot very long. Your cloak doesn't last very long, and the maps are designed in such a way that you just don't have a lot of time to just sit around and kind of hope that things go well. So you can a lot of times find a spot where you can get a couple of good pot shots off at somebody, but then you're going to have to pack up and kind of move shop elsewhere. The weapons are all pretty balanced as well. I don't find that there's really anything that's particularly overpowered, which is nice. You have a lot of different kind of countermeasures for everything. As even as a pilot, you have an anti-Titan weapon, which is designed to do more damage to Titans. So you're not completely helpless as far as being able to fight back, even when you're not in a Titan yourself. Jumped into that map late, and I did not do very well that round. There's times where, on the point of it being really balanced and whatnot, there's maps where, I'll be the bottom of my team, and there's times where I'll be the MVP of the map, which is kind of cool. There's a lot of different um, variations in performance as far as things go. Really depends on what situations you find yourself in. You get achievements at the end of the map. You also get basically you have these challenges that you can do different tiers of. For instance, I've now killed 100 specters, which are some of the trash that you find. They're like robots that deal decent damage to Titans. And then, for instance, I got some more kills with the smart pistol, so I'm up to 200 kills with the smart pistol. And the end basically shows the 6 challenges that you made the most progress on. You might have done more than that, but that's basically what you get, and then you get your experience. And it's nice because it actually kind of details it for you. You can see, for instance, I got some proficiency bonuses for accuracy and doing different things like the rodeo, which is grabbing onto the back of Titan, and calling in a Titan gives you some experience as well. The nice thing is that it automatically does start you getting into the next map, as you can see the timer up here in the top. You can change your loadouts during between matches. You can also add what they call burn cards, which are basically buffs that you can kind of start yourself with, for the next time that you spawn, and you get some new ones every turn, every map. And so basically, you can kind of give yourself some little buffs that will last during one life, basically. I'm being hit on by a friend of mine in the Twitch chat, a former coworker of mine. So don't mind me as I kind of typed that while the map's loading. All right, this time I'm actually going to take a look at my custom sniper build because it's a larger map. You get a little bit more um, ability for doing sniping, which I think is kind of nice. The map, the two maps in the beta are actually pretty well varied. They're very different. One of them is kind of more of an urban combat, and the other one is a less developed area that you kind of is all smashed up, and so you have a lot more different kinds of obstacles. Um, Wall running gets you around very quickly, as you can see by that. I actually just scaled a pretty significant distance there, and you can also pull yourself up on ledges, run around here. I'm going to get up on this roof very quickly, and basically now I've got myself a pretty decent vantage point to one of the main lanes of traffic for the map right through, especially in the beginning. Um, and you'll start to see people start popping up in windows and whatnot because they're trying to get in and out, and they're trying to get to their good vantage points. That was just a grunt. That wasn't a player, and I just saw one jet away. I'm not very good at sniping, just to be honest with you guys. I'm not gonna sit there and try to lie that I'm and try to say that I'm great at it, especially against moving pilots, because pilots move very quickly, especially when they're kind of seeing where they're trying to go. As you saw one person just bolt right by me, and there was no way. And then obviously, because I was busy doing that, somebody decided to shoot me in the face, and their plan worked a lot better than mine did. And also, if you don't get a headshot, there's not really much chance you're going to be able to finish them off because once people get shot, they just tend to, panic and run away, as you would. The cloak is nice. It works for a very short time. Gives you some element of surprise. It doesn't work incredibly well when you're against other pilots, basically. It works very well against the trash mobs and against people who are in Titans. When you're in a Titan, it's a lot more difficult to see a cloaked pilot. And you pretty much have to, if you know one's there, you pretty much have to rely on just kind of firing into an area and hoping that you get them, which is really annoying because it would be like trying to use a gun to shoot a fly. It's not very easy because they move around a lot. And, in Titanfall, your pilots definitely do move around a lot. It's nice because, if you're not really very good at first-person shooters like me, you can still earn the points to get your Titans called in, by taking out the NPCs and whatnot, which is nice for people who are a little bit less good at that kind of thing, much like me. So because of that, you can start taking out some trash mobs, and you actually earn points toward the objective in the attrition maps by doing that. The creeps basically they give you attrition points, just like killing players, although it's less obviously, but the it helps the objective along. So all right, time to call in my Titan because I've got that now. If you don't get in your Titan after a certain amount of time, it actually starts acting on its own, which is kind of a nice thing, especially when you're playing something like a sniper class, because you can set it to just guard a particular point, or you can tell it to basically stay as close to you as it can. So it's sitting here in its bubble shield, and you'll notice it just gets up and is ready to start doing its own thing. And so basically right now it's just chilling out, and if I start to run over this way, it will start to follow me. And as it detects things such as other pilots, other Titans, it will engage them. Um, and actually you get a lot of feedback from your Titan as well. It will let you know if it's being attacked and what it's being attacked by, whether it's just engaging a pilot, whether it's engaging another Titan, or also whether it's engaging many Titans, and basically it's kind of indirectly asking you for some help because it'll actually tell you when it's in kind of a rough spot. And it actually does a lot of different things like that. When you're in the Titan as well, you'll actually get statistic kind of information that will let you know if you're being engaged by another Titan than you were originally being engaged by. It will tell you, you're outnumbered. You should probably, run away. Also, always in that polite computer voice, that they always like to do. Um, and of course, I always feel a need to scream the classic Han Solo line and tell my Titan never to tell me the odds, because hey, you know what? You never know. I might be amazing. Doing a little bit more wall running, just trying to get around to different places, and using it, you get that nice little boost, and you can actually cover a lot of ground in not a lot of time. So that's one of the things I've been trying to use more, as well as the cloaking mechanic. As you can see, that guy in front of me just cloaked at the same time I did. Now I'm running after him. I'm hoping he's gonna stop, and I can run up and do this. Kick him. If I had snuck on up on him, I would have been able to do an execution, but he turned around just before I was able to do that. But meleeing is still pretty much a one-hit kill. Occasionally you don't actually kill them, but most of the time you do. I'm gonna sneak up on this Titan, see what I can do. Ooh, he sees me. Cloak time. You don't see me anymore. But of course now he knows I'm around and he's trying to basically get away from me because I can get on his back and then do some real damage from there. I'm just gonna keep. Ugh, he got me. It's one of those funny little games because you would have the uh, thought in your mind that once you're in the Titan, you're pretty well well protected, but the Titans are just afraid of the pilots as the pilots are of Titans. So it's a really interesting little game because there's always a way for you to win. Ooh, somebody's going nuclear over there. Some of the options I found that they give you for being able to customize your loadouts are really interesting. For instance, the one what I was just talking about there, when somebody was going nuclear, they actually give you an ability that when your Titan's basically about to be destroyed, then you have the option to, in fact, or it'll actually go nuclear. It'll explode and do a lot of damage to surrounding enemies. So it's just kind of their little final attempt at taking you down, which I find to be kind of cool. I don't myself use it because I would rather um, have the other option, which is auto eject, meaning as it's critically damaged, it will just kick you out and shoot you off into the sky and automatically cloak you as well, which is pretty invaluable. You can just fly up in the air and try to stay away from any kind of damage. Oop, that's an enemy Titan. If I were to run in there right now where that Titan has been spawned, it will actually do damage to me because of the bubble shield, and so you want to be very careful about that, and making sure you wait until the right time to engage them, like right now. Pop off that panel. And he's actually already doomed. You can see the little bar there. That means he's about to blow up, and there he goes. But right now, what I need to do is, because my enemies are trying to escape, because we won, we need to stop them from being able to escape. So we need to jump over here to where their dropship is coming in, and we need to destroy it. And that will give us extra points and actually prevent the enemies from getting any additional experience. Because you do actually get more experience for successfully escaping the map, even if you do lose. So you still have some opportunities to kind of redeem yourself a bit, which I thought was neat. And my neck just got snapped. Very nice. That person snuck up on me and just decided, watch a replay of that there. There's my head, pointing the wrong way. And the interesting part is that, normally you would respawn, but at this point in the map, basically it's permadeath as far as that kind of thing goes. So if you get taken out, then you're done. Um, and the same way it goes if you're trying to escape, you get killed, and then you just basically get you die and you don't get picked up. You can also miss the dropship, which is kind of interesting. More than a few times, I found myself leaping through the air trying to get on the ship and just barely missing it. And that's that. You lose and you lose those points, and it's not that big a deal, but especially when you're max level. Well, the next map will be starting up in about 1 minute. Let me kind of show you some of the options that you get for some of the loadouts. The primary weapons you get is the standard rifle. You get a shotgun, the smart pistol, the compact submachine gun, and the sniper rifle. Those are the only ones you get in the beta, but you also get some options as far as what you can equip to them. And right now, the only one I have is the iron sights, and actually, I need to complete. Um, I basically just need to kill more grunts with the SMG in order to be able to get the next attachment that you can get for it. But you also get some different modifications like the suppressors. You get scatter fire, which does less accuracy but has a higher rate of fire. Factory issue is just regular. You get your anti-Titan weapon, which is only two so far. There's the Archer Heavy Rocket, which takes a while to lock on and can't be fired until it's locked on. And then there's the Sidewinder, which is kind of the rapid fire option, does a lot less damage, but it's easier to fire, and I tend to use it more often. You get two different pistols. Basically, you get a low damage, high rate of fire pistol, and then a higher damage, lower rate of fire pistol, basically. Your tactical ability is as a pilot, it's either to cloak or it's basically a stim pack, which lets you run faster and uh, it boosts your health regen too. So basically, you can kind of take some damage and everything like that. And those are the only two so far. I'm hoping they add some more things like this in the final game. But as far as the beta goes, they actually, the way I see it, they included quite a bit of content, and it plays a little bit more like a demo of the game and kind of the demo of the mechanics, and it's pretty well finished. So now the next round's loaded, we'll kind of jump in and kind of jump in there. We'll do some CQB and we'll do a different Titan loadout too. We'll do the artillery, which is really heavy damage, but we'll use the shotgun and try to see what we can do here. These tend to be, if you're going to be on the lower levels of some of these maps in areas where there are more enemies around, this is kind of the loadout that I would recommend because you really can do some pretty heavy damage with the shotguns at short range, especially against other players because the shotgun does a lot of damage too. There goes somebody. Fruity nipples. That's great. But the shotgun, as you can see, does a pretty hefty amount of damage. Reload, reload, reload. The grunts are pretty much useless, as you can see. They will stop and fire at you, and they almost never hit you. And even when they do hit you, they do next to no damage. Spectres do quite a bit more, and they don't really start appearing until there are Titans on the map. Um, but yeah, that's they're pretty much just there to fill out. You do occasionally find them doing interesting things. If they encounter dead, or like if one of their allies gets shot near them, they will usually drag the ally to a safer location, um, and then continue fighting. You occasionally might stumble upon two grunts of one of the other sides fighting with each other. And then sometimes you find them in the same room and they're just staring at each other and nothing really happens. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's just you know the game being silly or something like that. It just kind of they just sit there and they'll be just staring at each other for no good reason. Hey, look at that! I can call on my Titan now because I used a burn card that lets me spawn it faster. And I'm spawning it right next to its other Titan, which was probably not the greatest idea, but it's a thing. Your Titan does get a melee ability, which is pretty hardcore. And actually, he's in kind of a bad spot because I am a pretty heavy hitter, and he's very close to me, which is not where he wants to be. Oh, he's going nuclear. Time to get out of the way. There's a wall! Oh, that did so much damage. Oh, anti-Titan weapon. But yeah, this is the Sidewinder right here. It's the little it fires mini missiles apparently that hit Titans, and it doesn't do much damage, but I find that standing still for enough time to lock on and fire the Archer rocket is not a good idea. I'm not very good at it. I usually almost always end up getting riddled with bullets before I can actually use it. Or the Titan sees me and just blows my face off. I like the wall running a lot more in this map, I think, than the other one. There are a lot more places to do it on. As you can see, we can jump off these signs and all kinds of stuff, and we can really easily get up and around. Oh, that guy just boarded his Titan. But I mean, it's just a great way to get around, even if you're really just, trying to get in a straight line. You can do it a lot faster sideways, which makes no logical sense. But hey, I'm not gonna complain. It's a great mechanic. It works really well. It's a little bit weird at times, and sometimes it kind of misinterprets what you're trying to do. But all things considered, because of how freeform it is, I'm really not gonna complain too much about that, just because it does work really well 99% of the time. And it's a great way to get around. You can get up to the tops of buildings really quickly, which as a pilot is really where you want to be a lot of the time. Um, you just don't want to sit still. You don't want to be too close to the ground. There's just too much going on certain things. It also lets you get around really quickly, especially when it comes to the point where you're nearing the end of the map. You're on the evacuation stage and you have to get out of there, or get to the dropship to stop everybody else from getting out of there. Oh crap. Um, I find it to be really nice just to be able to do that. You can also, if your Titan is ready when you die, you can spawn in your Titan, which is nice. It just drops you onto a random point in the map, just like it would if you spawned. So I find that to be pretty nice. Except it spawned me right next to this guy who's shooting me a bunch. The Vortex Shield that you can see me using here is a great weapon. Oh, I got hit hard. Oh, I just got pulled out of my Titan. Oh no, no, I actually jumped on him. That's cool. That works for me. The nice thing about doing this way is, as a pilot, you don't have to actually attack the Titan's shields as you would if you were a Titan attacking it, or if you were attacking it from farther away. You do direct damage to the internal components. And if you're unlucky, like I just was, that Titan, the pilot will actually get out and remove you. You can pick up drop weapons, which is kind of a neat thing if you kind of decide in a split-second decision that you want to change what weapon you've got available. I don't really find myself changing weapons ever or picking up other ones just because I guess I don't usually live long enough to need to. And that is one of the things. The maps are small and they're really well laid out, and that was one of the things that I was really glad that they spent a lot of time on. The maps are balanced between kind of areas that are controlled by Titans once they come out, and then areas that are kind of controlled by the pilots. Or there's building interiors that, as you can see, if there were Titan outside, he really wouldn't have any way to get at me. But pilots can run inside, and we can have all kinds of different fights inside. But at the same time, I can go outside into the streets and take part in all this craziness that's happening on out here. Ooh, that was scary. Oh, I'm gonna jump in my Titan. We're gonna have ourselves a little rigmarole here. Oof, so much damage. Oh, eject! Get out of there! No, 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 no! Ugh. Yeah, we'll watch this. He actually does the melee execution, folds me out of my Titan, and then threw me through a wall because physics, because reasons. Screw you, stairs. I'm gonna wall run. Yeah, sometimes it's a bit weird. I mean, but I like the distance that you can get while running. It's pretty. Um, I was about to say unrealistic, but when you figure the fact that these guys actually have rocket packs on their hips to kind of let them do this, I guess we can explain that away. Because you can run for a really long time and you really don't lose much height. Now I'm at the dropship location, and it's kind of interesting because you almost don't want to get here too early, because then you're basically just a sitting duck while your enemies try to pick you off. You really just kind of want to get here at the right time, and there's still 12 seconds before the dropship gets here, and that's just plenty enough time for somebody to come over here and just ruin my day. And they made it so that it's really difficult to hide at uh, at the dropship points as well. Um, Meaning you're pretty well open and exposed. And meanwhile, the entire time the dropship is being attacked by that Titan down there. But luckily, we managed to get away in time, and away we go. Well, all right, guys. I think that's going to be it for the stream tonight. If you have any other questions, please do hit us up on our Facebook page, Lag Theory, facebook.com/Lag Theory. Check us out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Lag Theory, etc., etc. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and have a great night.